10 quirky things that make Britain Britain. Britain is a fascinating blend of history, tradition, and charming oddities. From hilariously named villages to heated debates over breakfast spreads, it's a country where eccentricity isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. Some quirks are centuries old, rooted in history and culture. Others are simply everyday habits that outsiders find amusing or baffling. These peculiarities are what give the UK its unmistakable character. In this countdown of 10 quirky things that make Britain, Britain will explore the delightful details that make the nation truly unique, arranged from number 10 to the ultimate quirk at number 1. 10. Eccentric place names. Britain boasts some of the most unusual place names in the world, and each comes with a story. Villages like Scratchy Bottom in Dorset, Great Snoring in Norfolk, and Pratt's Bottom in Kent often raise a smile from visitors. These names aren't modern jokes. They've been around for centuries, with roots in Old English, Norse, or Celtic languages. Dull, Scotland famously twinned with boring Oregon, while Wetwang in East Yorkshire has sparked countless chuckles. Many of these names describe the geography, history, or an old local legend. For example, Scratchy Bottom refers to a rough hollow in the landscape, and Great Snoring is believed to have been named after a Saxon landowner. These quirky names are part of Britain's identity. Locals barely notice them, but tourists can't resist photographing the road signs. They serve as linguistic time capsules, capturing centuries of history with a dash of humour. 9. The love for biscuit dunking. Dunking biscuits into a hot drink is a daily ritual in many British homes. Whether it's a rich tea, a chocolate digestive, or a hobnob, the process is simple yet deeply satisfying. Dip it just long enough for it to soak up the flavour without disintegrating. It's such a big part of British food culture that entire debates exist over the best biscuit for dunking. Hobnobs are praised for their sturdiness, while chocolate digestives are loved for the way the chocolate melts slightly when dunked. In fact, surveys often rank these as the top choices for tea dunking across the UK. Biscuit dunking is more than a snack, it's a comfort ritual. Offices, construction sites, and living rooms across Britain share this small joy daily. It's also one of those habits visitors quickly pick up, because once you try it, it's hard to stop. 8. Politeness to the point of comedy. Britain's politeness is legendary, sometimes to the point of absurdity. The word sorry is used in situations where no apology is necessary. Someone bumps into you, and you're the one who says it. It's less about guilt and more about social harmony. Then there's the art of understatement. Not bad can mean absolutely fantastic, and a bit tricky might translate to a total nightmare. Visitors often take these phrases at face value, only to learn later that they mean something entirely different. Requests are softened to the extreme. Would you mind terribly if we perhaps closed the window? This gentle approach to conversation helps avoid confrontation and keeps interactions pleasant, even when the message is direct. It's one of the most charming quirks in British culture. 7. The peculiar pub culture. Pubs are central to community life in Britain. They're not just places to drink, they're social hubs where locals gather for quiz nights, charity events, and live music. Many pubs also serve as informal meeting places for families and friends. There's an unspoken etiquette. You order at the bar, not at your table. Striking up conversations with strangers is expected, especially in rural or village pubs. And then there are the names, often rooted in history, local trades, or folklore. From the Drunken Duck to the Bishop's Finger, each has its own story. Traditional pubs often feature cosy interiors, roaring fires, and walls decorated with local memorabilia. For visitors, exploring pubs across Britain is a cultural experience in itself. 6. The passion for bank holidays. Bank holidays in Britain are more than just days off. They're mini celebrations. These public holidays are eagerly anticipated, often planned months in advance. Whether it's a trip to the seaside, a countryside walk, or a weekend of home improvement, bank holidays are treasured. Originating in the 19th century as days when banks closed for religious events, they've evolved into opportunities for leisure. DIY stores and garden centres report some of their busiest days on these weekends, while coastal towns see an influx of day trippers. Even if the weather turns grey, which is common, Brits make the most of it. A bank holiday barbecue might still happen under an umbrella, proving the nation's determination to enjoy every moment. 5. The all-encompassing fry-up. The full English breakfast is a feast that's both iconic and indulgent. Typically, it features sausages, bacon, eggs, baked beans, mushrooms, hash browns, black pudding, and toast or fried bread. Regional variations add even more character. In Scotland, tatty scones are common. In Wales, laverbread, a seaweed delicacy, might appear. And in Northern Ireland, soda bread is a staple. While it's no longer an everyday meal for most, it's still a popular choice for weekends, hotel breakfasts, and hangover cures. Despite changing dietary trends, the fry-up remains a beloved part of British food culture, offering a hearty taste of tradition. 4. The enduring love for old trains. Britain's railway history is world famous, and the affection for old trains runs deep. Heritage railways preserve steam locomotives that still run special journeys, often through scenic countryside. Train spotting, recording the numbers and movements of trains, remains a respected hobby, with enthusiasts gathering at stations and along tracks to witness rare or historic locomotives. For many, it's not just about the trains. It's about reliving a time when rail travel was slower, more elegant, and deeply tied to the nation's industrial heritage. Visiting a heritage railway is like stepping back in time, complete with period stations, uniformed staff, and the unmistakable sound of a steam engine. 3. The Great British Sense of Humour. British humour is unique, dry, sarcastic, self-deprecating, and often delightfully absurd. Shows like Monty Python's Flying Circus, Fawlty Towers, and The Office have introduced this style to the world. It thrives on understatement. When something goes wrong, instead of panicking, a Brit might say, "Well, that's not ideal." This approach turns misfortune into shared amusement. It's a humour that bonds people, often in situations where laughter is the best way to cope. Outsiders might take time to get it, but once they do, it's impossible not to appreciate its cleverness. 2. Talking about the weather constantly. In Britain, the weather is more than just small talk. It's a cultural touchstone. With a climate that can deliver sunshine, rain, wind, and hail in a single day, there's always something to comment on. Phrases like, "Lovely day, isn't it?" or "Bit nippy today" are conversation openers that work with strangers, colleagues, or neighbours. The unpredictability of the British climate makes weather chat endlessly relevant. It's also a safe topic, ideal for filling awkward silences without stepping into anything controversial. This obsession with meteorology might seem excessive to outsiders, but for Brits, it's part of daily life. 1. The love-hate relationship with Marmite. Topping the list is Marmite, the dark, sticky yeast extract spread that has divided Britain for over a century. Marketed with the slogan, "You either love it or hate it," Marmite embraces its polarising nature. Fans spread it thinly on toast, stir it into soups, or add it to pasta. Haters can't get past the intense salty flavour, or even the smell. Its impact is so strong that the term Marmite has entered the English language as shorthand for anything that splits opinion. Whether you're in the love camp or the hate camp, Marmite is undeniably one of Britain's quirkiest food icons. Britain's quirks aren't just amusing, they're the heartbeat of its culture. From odd place names to weather chats and Marmite debates, these traditions and habits reflect history, humour, and community spirit. Perhaps the most British trait of all is embracing these peculiarities with pride, proving that uniqueness is worth celebrating. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and turn on the